The decision was we gonna label a certain group of people, young black males, as quote unquote super predators, create this disconnect, put the image of criminal and violence and etc. in other people's head. And remember, when we make this disconnect, empathy gets lost, and when empathy gets lost, you able to do way more harm to a certain amount or a certain group of people than you would be able to do if the empathy was present. So we have to ask ourselves, is this based on real facts and logic? Should we look at young black youth like, I ain't gonna lie, gang, like maybe I do want to stay away from y'all? Or are we tricked and psyched out by the same type of junk science and junk information thrown in front of us by the media, by whoever, just like the people here? They gonna always keep whooping our ass if they unifying to do wicked stuff and we not unifying to do righteous stuff. All right, y'all. Welcome back to another episode of the Don't Be a Viking podcast, where we talk about family and marriage topics to strengthen our knowledge in these areas to increase the likelihood that we have success in these areas. Now, today we're gonna talk about some more on the political side. I don't really care about politics. When we get into some of this knowledge, you're gonna see why I don't really care about politics. But I'm not necessarily trying to tell you what party to vote for or nothing like that. The reason I'm talking about it is because we don't need to be putting our faith in somebody else to come save our day. That's what people do a lot of times when they try to focus on politics. Like, if I vote this person into office, they'll come handle this and come change that in my life to better me. What I want to focus on is unifying amongst each other. Brothers give with brothers, brothers give with sisters, sisters give with sisters, sisters give with brothers. And we unify to change some of our own problems instead of trying to focus on somebody else coming playing Superman for us. Now, today we're going to focus specifically on how and why we young black men are looked at as criminals. So it can go in one or two ways if you're just looking at it on a surface level. Either we really are criminals and people are looking at us in the way they should perceive us, if that's the truth. Or it's going to go in another way and, okay, we're really not criminals, but it's been systematic attacks to paint us in this picture and make us be seen in this light. Therefore, not only will other people see us in this light, we'll see ourselves in this light. And that has its own trickle effect, because if I look at you as a bad person off the rip, I feel less emotion towards doing something bad to you. For example, let's say if we kill a spider or a bug or something, we don't perceive this spider or bug's life as valuable as we see another human being's life. So it's like, bro, if a bug in my house, I'm gonna kill the bug. Like, it's no emotion there. It's like common sense. Cool, I want the bug gone. Get the bug the hell out of my house. Kill it. But if we talk about killing another human being, since it's more emotion attached there, which it should be, I'm only using this as an example. I'm not saying it shouldn't be emotion towards killing a human being. Or I'm not even saying it should be equal value in the spider life versus value of a human being life. Just stay with me for the example. If I say, if a human being rub me the wrong way or whatever, I just kill it. Okay. Since it's more emotion attached there, and not only emotion, I think in this video we'll go into this. It's not just random emotion there, it's relatability there. When you relate to something, you have more empathy towards that thing, so you can do less harm, or you feel more wrong about doing harm towards that thing when the empathy is there. But if I'm able to remove the empathy between you and the other thing, you are able to treat that other thing worse and not feel bad about it. But let's go into why I'm saying all this, what I'm getting at, what's my evidence, etc. So today we gonna quote from my favorite scholar, Dr. Wesley Muhammad. So Dr. Wesley Muhammad got a book called the God damn. He got a book called The Destruction of Black Masculinity. I could not get that out. Now, in this book, he give us some good evidence on why we are looked at as criminals. Let's get into it since we got a lot of reading to do. If President Johnson had his war on poverty and Presidents Nixon and Reagan had their war on drugs, President Clinton and his helpmeet, the First Lady, had their super predator war aimed specifically towards young black males. Hillary Clinton said, we also have to be organized in our efforts against gangs, just as in the previous generation we had an organized effort against the mob. We need to take these people on. They are often connected to big drug cartels. They are not just gangs of kids anymore. They are often the kinds of kids who are called, quote unquote, super predators. No conscience, no empathy. We can talk about how they ended up that way, but first we need to bring them to heel. We're going to address the importance of some of these words and phrases she used in a minute. She said big drug cartel. This something I want to point out. She said super predators, no conscience, no empathy, and we need to bring them to a heel. Remember what I just said at the beginning about when you create a disconnect between the two things, when there's no connection or relatability between the two things, you able to treat the other thing worse than you would have been able to treat it if a connection and bond was in between the two things. Keep that in mind. Dr. Winston Muhammad went further and said Hillary Clinton did not invent the term super predator. She learned it and its meaning from the term's actual coiner, the right-wing political scientist John J. DeLulio. I ain't gonna lie, for the rest of the time we talk about bro, I'm gonna just say John D. I'm not finna keep trying to say bro last name. I put everything on the screen. Y'all see what bro name is. I'm not finna keep saying it. From at that time, Princeton University, and Professor D was clear and bold. Young black males, even pre-puberty elementary school black males, have become a demographic crime bomb about to explode all over America if they are not, quote unquote, brought to heel. Now we can start to see a connection between the vocabulary and vernacular that Hillary Clinton used and the dude who actually made these terms up. So the importance of it is when we understand the mind, the motive, and agenda behind the dude who made the term, and we able to see other people are, joining him in his ideology, whatever values he had, it's safe to say, especially if we see more evidence, which we do, but without the more evidence right now, it's safe to say if I'm using his verbiage, if I'm learning from him and speaking in front of the people with the stuff I learned from him, that I agree and align myself with his principles and morals. So let's go deeper into it. In two articles, Scientist D laid out the looming threat to America. How this new breed of young predator is fatherless, godless, and jobless, and thus can, quote unquote, kill or maim on impulse without any intelligible motive, end quote. Now let's address what I was just talking about earlier. What Clint said, super predators, no conscience, no empathy. She said they connected to drug cartels, and what Bruh just said, fatherless, godless, and jobless, can kill on impulse without any intelligible motive. Now, when you say stuff like this, by describing the people with these type of adjectives, you make them so different from society. You remove all the relatability, and when the relatability is removed from the people, you remove the empathy, what we were just talking about earlier. For example, if I see you as my brother, it's harder to do harm to you. But if I see you as a nigga or that nigga or whatever, or if I see you as a B word or whatever I see you as, other than my brother or my sister, it's easier to do harm to you. For example, I heard a brother say, I can't remember who it was. If I view you as my brother and I like call you that, It's harder to say, yeah, I'm finna go kill that brother right there. It's easier to say, yeah, I'm finna kill that nigga. You see what I'm saying? You see the difference? So brother is an enduring love and term. Brother is something that makes us see the relatability and connection between us two. So if I stop using that word, and we just talk about a simple word, we're not talking about the whole mindset that go behind it. By me just using this simple word, brother, instead of the other word nigga, it make me treat you different. It make me think twice before I go act violent against you. Not even just violence. It make me think twice before I do anything bad against you, whether it's stealing, whether it's slandering your name behind your back, anything. I have to take a level of responsibility in my actions when I sit there and call you brother, but still do some foul towards you. See what I'm saying? And just in case I said something that Dr. Winston Muhammad don't agree with right then and there, I don't want to put that on his name. What I just said was all from me. I'm going to let y'all know when I get back to quote Dr. Winston Muhammad. But I don't think it's that he'll disagree with it there anyway. But just to be safe and sorry, put that little disclaimer out there. Now, back to quoting him. As Dr. Barry Chrisberg, criminologist from UC Berkeley, notes, when you describe another group as godless, you can do anything to them. And the Clintons understood this well. So, going back to what we said about the relatability, like this the part I really want to drive in. If majority of people believe in God, even if y'all believe in different gods, you call your God this, I call my God that, I think God like this, you think God like that. Okay, cool. But if majority of people believe in God, and I describe a group of people as godless, I'm put it like this. Most religions, if you believe in God, is subsequent actions and beliefs that come with it. If I believe in God, more than likely, I also believe in the devil. If I believe in God, more than likely, I also believe in angels, etc. You see what I'm saying? So you just saying God, other beliefs come in with this. So if majority of people believe in God, and I say a certain group of people don't believe in God, and all the other people heads that do believe in God will automatically start to attach this group of people with the opposite of God, the devil. Or even if you don't consciously, because I think subconsciously you will do that if you believe in God, and I say these people don't believe in God. Because people say other people going to hell just for not believing in the God you believe in. So if I say somebody don't believe in God, there's a good chance subconsciously or consciously the people that do believe in God will start associating that group of people that seem to have a disconnect religiously with other than the God devil. So if even you not having this subconscious thought, then you still able to say this is so valuable in my life. Like most people, even if they lying, even if they life and actions don't bear witness to this, most people will say, yeah, God number one, God number one. So to remove that connection between the two people, like dude said, bruh, this disconnect will make you be able to justify doing almost anything to these people. Dr. John D said, quote, as many as half of these coming super predators could be young black males, end quote. Scientist John D theorized that nothing affects crime rates more than the number of young males in the population, end quote. So in order to avoid the predicted tsunami of merciless crime on the streets of America, reduce the number of young black males in the population. Simple math. Draconian measures were thus enacted in order to do just that. Reduce the number of black males walking around. Draconian mean like harsh, severe. So severe measures was taken to remove the population of young black males. All right, bam. Now let's note back to what little Hillary Clinton said. When the first lady said what she said when she mentioned the super predators, I think the quote that we opened with, she did not just invoke an empty term. She invoked the term pregnant with fiery, specific content and meaning that she learned firsthand from the term's owner and inventor, while dining in with him in his home. Scientist John Dee and his colleagues, with the help of major media, created a national moral panic that targeted young boys. But there is one problem. It was a fabricated scare. As Dr. Chris Berg points out, this country went into a moral panic over super predators, but the calculations were wrong. They just made it up. He further said it was a myth, and unfortunately, it was a myth that some academics jumped onto. The fear of the super predator led to a tremendous number of laws and policies that we are just now recovering from. Now, let's stop for a second. You got a scientist, a professor, John Dee, who is considered smart, smarter than most, like smarter than your average Joe off the street, making up a term and coining a term and spreading the information on this term that affects a certain group of people, young black males, and the information is false. Then, not only do you got him, you got other colleagues of his, and you know if he's smart, he intelligent. His colleagues not just some small time people. You got his colleagues, and you got the first lady all joining on to his idea, to his thoughts. You think that this was accidental, that nobody else was smart enough to fact check what he's saying and be like, nah, it's flawed here, it's flawed there. You think this is an accident? No, this is an intentional attack. This is what they do all the time. And we're going to get into it in another video because I don't want to make this video too long. When other people, I don't even want to say other, like it's not Professor John Dee, Scientist John Dee, and it's not Hillary Clinton per se. But I don't want to say other people because I'm going to put all these people in the same boat. When other people of influence over America able to make laws, and a lot of these laws are racist and prejudice, they will know that they want to get a certain thing accomplished. All right, I want to reduce the population of young black children or whatever. Let's say that's the goal. When doing this, they'll come up with the goal first, then try to come up with a cover story that will make the actions to reach this goal seem justifiable. If that sounds confusing, stick along. We gonna make another video going deeper into that. I'll probably make it right after I do this video. But that's a frequent and common strategy and tactic that they'll use. So that's just like with this. If I want to reduce the population of a certain group, these smart scientists is not gonna make a mistake this big. Then with the first lady just coming on and agreeing to it, let's be clear on our actions as far as, or not our actions, let's be clear on our thoughts as far as we need to understand that whoever it is, the public face is not the one that really make the decisions. So Hillary Clinton herself wasn't gonna come up and say what she said without a body of people behind her agreeing to, yeah, this what we gonna say, this what we gonna talk about. So it wasn't only Hillary Clinton joining on to what Scientist John Dee said. The whole body of people behind her agreed with this decision. Now, what is the decision? Let's make sure we're being clear. The decision was we gonna label a certain group of people, young black males, as quote unquote super predators, create this disconnect, put the image of criminal and violence and etc. in other people's head. And remember, when we make this disconnect, empathy gets lost, and when empathy gets lost, you able to do way more harm to a certain amount or a certain group of people than you would be able to do if the empathy was present. Even scientist John Dee himself later confessed on a New York Times short documentary about the myth. The super predator idea was wrong. Once it got out there, though, it was out there. There was no reeling it in. Steve Drizin of the Huffington Post says the myth of the super predators was premised on, quote, junk science and inaccurate predictions. But When so many brilliant minds conclude to make government policy based on junk science, no, it was intentional. What we just said. So he said, scientist John D said, since the lie was already out there, we could have reeled it back in. Gee, however I put the lie out there, I can put truth out there to replace the falsehood. And given the type of money the government throw at folks to do wicked science and test on us, if they really wanted to, let's say the scientists that put the information out, let's say they could like influence the media in a way by paying the media to look, run these cover stories, run these ads, etc. Like to clear our mistake up. Let's say okay, they didn't have the budget to do so. All the little grants they be getting, all that America get them to do wicked science and experiments on us, if they wanted to bad enough, gang, they could have threw them some more money. Hey, y'all made a mistake. It's cool. Mistakes happen. Here, I'm gonna throw y'all a marketing budget to clear it all up. So this cap right there. But like they said at the end, like Dr. Winston Muhammad said at the end, when so many brilliant minds conclude to make government policy based on junk science, no, it was intentional. And at no age was too young to be held up as the personification of evil in this society. To justify the onslaught against black youth that was coming, President Clinton exploited the 1994 murder of 11-year-old Robert Yummy, the unaliving of 11-year-old Robert Yummy Sandifer in Chicago. Abandoned and homeless by the time he was only 8 years old, Yummy, whose name derived from his love of donuts, allegedly killed a 14-year-old Shaven Dean. His fellow gang members then killed him to quiet him, we're told. Yummy then became literally the poster boy for the super predator and the coming doom. But as Elaine Brown points out, perhaps the most interesting thing about Yummy's case and the infamy heaped upon him in the press was this. Not only had he never been charged or tried for or convicted of this murder for which he stood publicly accused, but also, and even more curiously, he was dead. Yummy's tragic death could not keep him from being upheld as a ruthless killer. And the president seized the opportunity. In his president's radio address of September 10, 1994, Clint spoke at some length on Yummy's story, as presented by the morally panicked media, and used Yummy's case as the justification for his get tough policies. President Clinton's super predator war was on. Let's stop for a second. So remember, the environment, the community is already in an uproar. I should say community because they make it sound like unity. Society make it sound like unity too. Let's just say people was already in the uproar based off the junk science that the scientists and Hillary Clinton put out based on the super predator stuff. So they already like, I ain't gonna lie, it's a negative stigma against the young black youth. We ain't gonna keep saying it, but we know the actions that this stigma will produce in our society. Okay, cool. So while everybody is already panicked, the president come out with more fuel to the fire and make an example public. Another false example. Let's keep in mind, remember the science based on the super predator stuff was false. Here go the president coming out with more false information. Now, when somebody like a scientist, somebody got a white coat on, oh, I got these many degrees and all my colleagues back me and support me, and the first lady back me and support me, and the first lady repeat the same science that the professor put out. These are people with a lot of credibility. If you know better, you know they should have credibility in your head. But to the majority of people, this is people with a lot of influence and credibility. It's people with trustworthiness. It's people that, like, no matter what they say, and then you will start to think, especially if they bold enough to say it on national TV in front of millions of people, like, they gotta be saying the truth. So if President or First Lady Clinton come out and say young black youth are criminals, bad and violent, a scientist say young black youth are criminals, bad and violent, then the president come behind them and give you an example on the great dreadful violence that these young black youth bring. He said the young 11-year-old killed somebody. Then the young 11-year-old got killed by other young black youth for killing somebody. While everybody is already panicked, you like, see, like this is what we talk about right here. Then you can start justifying it in even more ways. If they did it at a young age like 11, by the time they 18, they 30 times worse than this. Or if he did it at 11, 6-year-old or 8-year-old, not far from 11, they probably already got criminal tendencies. You see how you can start playing mental games, especially when the environment, the temperament of the people already is high and emotional. So we have to ask ourselves, is this based on real facts and logic? Should we look at young black youth like, I ain't gonna lie, gang, like, maybe I do want to stay away from y'all? Or are we tricked and psyched out by the same type of junk science and junk information thrown in front of us by the media, by whoever, just like the people here? Now, we got the answers for the most part. For the most part, people already been saying, bro, this based on garbage, this based on junk science. The dude who made the super predator term himself said it was wrong. So we should be looking at our brothers and sisters like, I ain't gonna lie, I don't want to unify with y'all. Somebody go live. If we try to get together on an economic project, they might steal the money. If we try to do this and do that, they might cause harm to me. But it's the exact opposite. If they cause a harm to you or if they steal from you, I can guarantee, and I'm not even trying to justify it by saying that they don't have a mind for themselves, but I can guarantee they have been influenced and negatively affected by the same people who've been oppressing us for the beginning of time since they've been here. So since that's the case, we can't look at our brothers and sisters like they the ones who responsible for this. We can look at them like maybe they've been a victim of this. Maybe the attack has reached them and making them act other than themselves. But we can't say that they're responsible. We have to look at the people like the Clintons. We have to look at the people like the scientist John D. They're responsible. We're the victims of the actions that they put out. Now, since we the victims, we also have to come fix ourselves. That's fine. We don't need nobody else to come fix us. What I started with about the politics. I'm not trying to vote somebody into office, or I'm not trying to bring somebody else into my community to fix something I can fix. But we have to know who's responsible to be able to first separate ourselves from the people responsible to work and fix on ourselves. Imagine trying to fix on yourself with the people who giving you the poison is still over you sprinkling the poison. You will never be able to free yourself of the trap. So first we need to shield ourselves from the people sprinkling the poison. And now that no more poison is coming on us, now we can be able to say, okay, we sick. This is our solution. Let's start applying it. All right, let's continue though. Bam, they continue to share bad stories to a panicked audience to continue to dehumanize black people. As a result, during the Clinton 90s run, nearly every state in the country enacted laws that denied these children from their youth by making it much easier to try them as an adult. The result was the incarceration of literally thousands of youth, the majority of whom were black males. By 1998, African Americans constituted about 15% of youth under the age 18, but nearly 2/3 of those transferred to adult court. By 1998, that's a tongue twister. Adult court. By 1998, there were approximately 1,600 juvenile offenders in adult jails. Towards the end of the Clinton 90s run, specifically 1997, there were more than 9,000. Bruh, in 1998, it was approximately 1,600 juvenile offenders in adult jails. Towards the end of the Clinton 90s, specifically 1997, there were more than 9,000. Jesus Christ. If they use media to turn us down with lies, we can also use media ourselves to uplift ourselves. So if you support stupid stuff, and I'm gonna like use myself as an example. I support by saying support, like I listen to, like I think they music bumping or whatever. I support artists who talk about negative stuff all the time. Lil Durk, Pooh Shiesty, everybody who bumping and like similar music like that, they got bad messages that they putting out there, but I still listen to them. But keep this in mind. Remember, they tore us down with the use of media. So if you able to get negatively affected and folks put laws out, the arrest rate going up, etc. If all these real world actions come from what's being propagated to the media of negative on us, then we can ourselves remember we don't need to beg somebody else to, well, since y'all messed the media up for us, can y'all fix the media for us? We ain't got to do that. Us ourselves, we can change the narrative on that. So they put out negative stories, false information, and lies to destroy us. Cool. We don't gotta make up positive lies to try to bring us back to where we need to be. We can just keep spreading the truth, and we can keep doing good works. Then we can keep posting, and we can share ourselves. So going back to the point where I'm saying, like, even I support bad people, like as far as listening to that music, whatever. Just don't post it. Like I seen so many sisters post Sexy Red. Not gonna lie, you as a young woman shouldn't even want to be attached to somebody named Sexy Red. That's stupid. But I'm trying not to pass judgment on it and be a hypocrite on it. If I listen to brothers talk about killing other black brothers, you see what I'm saying? So if she talked about sisters and encouraging sisters to be hoes, I can't run my mouth if I'm listening to folks that kill other brothers. You know what I'm saying? But I would say I don't post when I'm listening to Lil Durk. Like I don't post me driving, listening to Lil Durk, like or post the lyrics or when he drop a new album. I don't like go repost the album trying to promote that. What I do post when I'm listening to somebody positive or good, I do post it. So if we take that type of mindset on of okay, when we indulge in ignorance, just don't share it. But when we indulge in positivity, share it. Cool. Let's do that. That will help ourselves change our own image. You see what I'm saying? Then if somebody try to say, bro, but you being fake, this not really who you is. Nobody posts all the bad, humiliate stuff of their own life. Let's say if you got the bubble guts or something, and you sick, and you end up throwing up on yourself. You not finna record. Haha, look, I just threw up on myself. You just gonna clean it up, man, move on about your day. So, because we don't show every other part of our life that's negative, that's too embarrassing or whatever, don't mean we being fake. No intelligent person with dignity want to publicly embarrass themselves like that. Being transparent and just embarrassing yourself is two totally different things. I'll be transparent if I'm talking to another young brother, telling him some of the mistakes I made, or coming on camera and saying some of the mistakes I made and how we can grow from it. So I can tell you my flaws, so you don't have to go through it. Like this one thing, but me just being ignorant and just showing how ignorant I'm being, bruh, this not getting us nowhere. Keep that in your camera roll or whatever. If we just post more positivity about ourselves, we can get real world actions and responses to that positivity, just like they got real world actions and responses to the negativity they put out on this. when you find somebody doing good in whatever ways, like you think is good, if you find somebody helping the youth, helping older people, whatever, if you see somebody in our community uplifting our community, let me take that back. If you see somebody that look like us in our community doing good actions for our community, and you fact check that person enough to know that they not backed by nobody who oppose it to us, because a lot of people, a lot of wicked people, able to say, okay, if I come around with my face and I try to offer people this, offer people that, they'll be like, a little questionable, a little shaky about it. But if I go pay him, let's say I go pay LeBron James to go push my same message, people will be more receptive to it. So we have to be careful about, okay, LeBron look like us. We think LeBron one of us. Who backing LeBron? Is he backing himself, or is he backed by people that are opposing to us? After we fact check that and we say, okay, I don't think he backed by nobody that's an enemy to us. Support the brother, support the sister, bro. Like, don't complain about our community being in bad conditions, but don't support the people who try to help. So just like these people, these evil and wicked people, they support each other. Like if Hillary Clinton sees somebody else, like Scientist John D, with a message that she can get behind, that like match her goals, that match her values, she support him. It's a wicked support, but wicked people come together to do wicked things and they get the outcome they want. By them unifying, they get their outcome. So to counteract it, we have to unify amongst each other. Somebody doing something positive, get behind that person. Support that person. However it is. It can be financially. It can just be word of mouth, whatever. Support that person. If you got your own organization and somebody else got their own organization and y'all in the same type field or market or whatever, but don't look at that person as your enemy and find a way to unify with that person, because they unify and they get the goals and outcomes that they want by unifying. So if they unify to do wicked actions and it's damn sure working, and we not unified, we'll never be able to counteract what they doing and be able to stand on our own 2 feet and fight a good fight against it. They gonna always keep whooping our ass if they unify to do wicked stuff and we not unified to do righteous stuff. So I don't even want to go no further on that topic, because we can keep peeling it back. I'm only gonna use these examples from Hillary Clinton, President Clinton, and Scientist John D. Now, from this one little topic, we able to see how good unity works. Because like I said, when they unify, they get stuff done, goddamn. We need to learn from that and unify on a righteous level. So seeing how unity works and seeing how we have been painted as criminals, which will cause more division within us. Because if I see the other black man as a criminal, I don't want to unify with him. So let's first break that lie, break that myth down. We not criminals. I can guarantee you, I can prove in further videos how if we doing some other than righteousness, we have been attacked in a way where we lost our knowledge of self. Whether they came from colonizing, whether they came from like putting lies on us to make us dislike each other, and then after we get divided, then come colonize us, whatever. I can guarantee you, if your brother robbing, if your brother stealing, if your brother anything negative, he has been a victim of multiple assaults that has put him in this condition. And now that he's in this condition and he still has to live and he has to not only provide for himself, but he probably got a family or whatever. And the brother has been attacked in such a way where it's easier for him to pick up a gun or pick up some drugs instead of create a good, healthy, positive lifestyle for himself. You would say, oh, since he picked up a gun, since he picked up drugs, oh, that's a bad brother. How did he get in this position? How did he get in this predicament? You see what I'm saying? So don't be quick to judge what you see on face value, because what you see on face value is a brother with drugs in his hand, is a brother with a gun on his hip, is a brother with a gun pointed at somebody else to take his drugs. You see what I'm saying? That's what you see on face value. But remember, don't be like these folks. Don't like let their image automatically put the thought in your head that people bad, people evil, etc. We have to ask ourselves, is my brother doing bad actions? Yes. But is he doing bad actions on his own accord? Or has he been under some attacks that make him do this? You see what I'm saying? And once we get that answer, and I'm going to tell you the answer is the latter. Once we get that answer, then we able to look at our people with more empathy, build that connection between each other, and unify. And once we unify, we able to create opportunities for each other that make my brother not, he don't gotta go pick up the gun. He ain't gotta go pick up the drugs. We got other stuff that we can do after we get the knowledge of self back within ourselves. But without further ado, let's go wrap this topic up. And now we see how and why we look at ourselves as criminals, while other people look at us as criminals. Is it true? No. Since it's not true, since we know how they did it, we are able to go against it, spread positive media on ourselves, unify with our brothers and sisters, bring out some good outcomes. So without further ado, we ain't no goddamn criminals. And since I ain't a criminal, goddamn, and you know this there from the proof, like and subscribe to the video so you can help me build with our brothers and sisters. Because if I don't grow, nobody know I exist, goddamn. Since they don't know I exist, I can't unify with no goddamn body. So sure, like it, subscribe, all that good stuff. And it's a lot of, you come in, you want to come in? My girl came and skipped over here. But it's a lot of stuff I want to get into that I can't get into on YouTube. So drop y'all email, or I'm going to put my email down in the description. And from there, you can email me, let me know you want more of the deeper, not YouTube friendly knowledge, and we can build on that type of level. Because what I want to do is I want to get enough emails in to where I'm able to say, okay, it's a demand for this. Package all the information together, get the information out there. So I'll let y'all on this episode of the Don't Be a Viking Podcast. Tap in with me on the next episode of the Don't Be a Viking Podcast, where we'll continue to talk about topics surrounding family, surrounding marriage, that'll uplift our knowledge in these areas, uplift our community, uplift our nation. Yes, sir, Ski.
Yes, sir, Ski.